You're listening to the We Are Libertarians Podcast Network. Find all of our shows at wearelibertarians.com. You're listening to the We Are Libertarians Network. Learn more at wearelibertarians.com.
I don't want to edit it.
There we go.
All right, now I'm told we're good. Welcome to Boss Hog of Liberty podcast. This is episode number 103 of East Central Indiana's favorite podcast. I'm Jeremiah Morrell, joined today by co-host Mr. Chase Peyton and Mr. Dakota Davis.
Today's episode features Mr. Jordan Page, who is Ron Paul's favorite musician. We are going to be talking to Jordan about a guy named Schaefer Cox, and a story that's been going on with him that Jordan is very involved in. Chase's phone's going off.
It sounds like The Office over there, buddy.
But we will be talking to Jordan about Schaefer Cox. We're going to talk for probably a few minutes about CMUs, which is a different type of prison.
I think that's masonry.
It's called Communication Management Units, and there's only 2 of them in the United States, and that is the type of prison that Schaefer Cox has been sentenced to.
We're lucky enough to have one right here in Central Indiana.
Yeah, we're going to give you guys a preview of Jordan's song, and then we're going to be talking about the city elections for the city of Newcastle, Indiana, and then Chase has got something going on in his life right now.
Huge! Big news.
Big news. So you make sure you stick around to the very end of the episode to figure out what's going on with Chase Peyton.
Oh, man, Hans is going to be so happy. This show is about our lives in rural Indiana. As always, we promise that our episodes are going to be a fun and an easy listen.
So apparently my dad doesn't watch the show.
Really?
Yeah, he called me.
Oh, just now?
Thanks for the support, Dad.
Just now. Oh, my. So this is a podcast. We're here, everybody.
We are.
I am so hopped up on cold medicine, it's unreal.
He's been super on edge today.
I have been different. I've been different than normal. I if you watch my Snapchat today, it was like...
Does Snapchat still exist?
It still exists. Sarah tells me to be nice to Katie. Katie's wonderful. Why do you tag Katie in this, Sarah? Are you trying to cause trouble? I'm going to have to delete that comment.
You just unplugged my headphones, Jeremiah.
Oh, big feet. You guys carry on.
Well, here pretty
He's a bull in a china shop already, and then whenever he gets hopped up on drugs, it just gets 3,000 times worse. This is why you all need to go to the Amazon wish list and purchase the headphone extension cables. We have 2 of them already. Once we get those purchased, then we can finally move the headphone amp away from our table.
I'm going to be honest,
Chris.
This feels like a prison.
It feels like a prison.
Feels like a prison. I can't move the way I want to. I'm tied in here. Hi, Jason Harold. Guffey is on the ground, rolling around. He's going above and beyond as Mr. Producer tonight.
Can I be your butt buddy, Jer?
I don't know what that means.
You said it felt like a prison.
Okay, well,
Hand me your pocket, Jer.
You're already starting off really strong. Remember what happened whenever you started with this type of language last time?
I said no bad words there.
So we're going to be joined in about 5 minutes. We are on the clock. Jordan Page is going to call in 5 minutes, allegedly. And Dakota, what have I gotten us into? Set the stage a little bit.
I don't know. I talked a little bit about it in the intro, but Jordan worked with the Ron Paul campaign. He's written a song about Schaefer Cox. You can find out about that story at freeschaefer.com. So we're going to be talking to him about that and giving you guys a listen to his song, as long as he's okay with it. I don't want to promise anything.
This is a media,
and then him say, "No, you can't play my song for free."
It's a promotional deal, man. He's on the tour.
Some would say he's the songbird of our generation.
So Jordan is a longtime family friend of the Morrell family. He when we first got to know him, he was the artist for the Ron Paul campaign.
Scooting over.
What in the world is he doing down there?
I don't know.
What are you doing?
You move the light, so now the light was on the screen. I had to move it behind you.
Oh my gosh,
Jeremiah!
It is such a day. All right, so Jordan was the the guy for the Ron Paul campaign. And he met my mom and a few of my aunts, and somehow
the guy.
The singer, right? Like you Google it, if you Ron Paul music or whatever, he was like Ron Paul's band, essentially for the campaign. It was very grassroots at that time in politics. So somehow he and my mom and the number of her sisters met each other. One thing led to another, and he wound up moving to Rush County, Indiana, and lived here for a number of years. A few of his kids were born living in Rush County. Played some. He actually played the very first fundraiser I had. Mark Rutherford was there. We're at the Elks Club in Rushville, Indiana, back when I ran in 2012.
1 second, we're getting a phone call.
Here we go. This is the moment.
Hello, can you hear us?
Yes.
Oh, how are you doing today, sir?
I'm good. How are you?
We're doing well,
All right. Jordan, Jeremiah here. How we doing, man? Good to hear from you.
Good to hear you too, Jared. It's been a long time.
It has. Welcome to the Boss Hog of Liberty. You've got I don't know if you saw the live feed there or not, but we're live on Facebook. Dakota Davis is here. Chase Peyton is here. And we're talking to a handful of people live here, and then it'll be out on the podcast here shortly.
Okay, fantastic.
So tell us, I was before you joined us, we were going over the kind of the history of you in the Ron Paul movement and the Liberty movement, and talking about how you were here in Indiana for a while, and that's how we got to know each other. But tell us, I guess, what you've been up to now, and then we'll go from there.
Sure. Yeah. So I got quite a boost from the Ron Paul days, and I would tour around with Dr. Paul on his campaign events running for president, and I would get the crowd all hopped up before he'd come out. And I went from playing in bars where 25 drunk people could care less that I was there to playing in front of 2,500 people who all knew the words to my songs, and it was just a great time in my life, and got to participate in something really beautiful that had a long lasting impact, lots of ripples there. I continued, after the Ron Paul movement kind of, fizzled out, I continue to write songs about things that I care about and all the different movements that have come out of that. The Ron Paul movement encompassed so many things, and then but it was very much centered around him as an answer. And once that was no longer in the cards, people kind of branched off into their own factions and took on issues that they really cared about. And that's really where I'm at too. I care very much about a number of issues, and those are the causes that I do activism for and I write about. The song I wrote for Lavoy Finicum, who the Arizona rancher who was murdered by federal agents in Oregon several years ago, wrote a song for him. And that's actually coming out in a documentary series called Dead Man Talking. It's going to be a featured song in that film, and part 3, I believe, and that's this year. For the last few months, really since June, I've had a project that I've been working on, and really that's been on my heart, which is I guess why we're kind of talking tonight, is about Schaefer Cox. And Schaefer Cox, for those of you who don't know his name, he is an American political prisoner. He was a Ron Paul libertarian, just like me, just like a lot of us were. And he was up in Alaska. He was running for office. He was getting a lot of traction, and he was a delegate to the 2009 Continental Congress. Just an amazing guy, a pillar of his community. But he was poking the bear where the bear didn't want to be poked, and he was calling out child trafficking networks connected to CPS and corrupt judges and police and in Alaska and Fairbanks, and they sicked the dogs on him, and he was targeted for assassination by the FBI. And when that failed, they cooked up a conspiracy to charge him with conspiracy to murder federal agents. This is a crime that never took place, and there is no evidence that it ever took place. He preached nonviolence. He had a very Gandhi-like message. He was quoted on tape as saying, "If they ever come for me, I'm going to pull a Gandhi, not a Rambo." And that's exactly how things went down. And Schaefer was framed and ambushed, and went through a kind of a kangaroo court kind of trial where the prosecution, was guilty of gross, grave misconduct and withheld exculpatory evidence that would have set him free. But the goal here was not to have justice be done; it was to silence this man. which they did. And during the trial, they moved him to Washington from Alaska so that no witnesses up there would be able to testify on his behalf. A lot of dirty, underhanded stuff went on, and he was sentenced to 26 years for conspiracy to murder federal agents, which again is a crime that never took place.
So
recently, in August of 2017, his solicitation charge was dropped. So without solicitation, there can't be a conspiracy, but they're still holding him, unlawfully holding him.
And he's in Indiana in a federal prison here now, as I understand. And it's Dakota. You said this is something called a CMU.
Yeah, he's in Terre Haute in the CMU Communication Management Unit. I think there's two of these types of prisons in the United States, and they're both, basically black site prisons. He has very little communication with the outside world. He has no visitors. He's allowed 2 phone calls a week for 15 minutes. He has allowed access to email, but all of his communications are heavily monitored.
In the show notes that we include for the Patreon members, there's a link to a YouTube video that is a TED Talk on CMU prisons or communication management units, and I'll be honest, I'd never heard of these types of prison cells before. And the TED Talk was very, very eye-opening, and I actually wound up researching more about the CMU that is present here in our own state and learned a ton. Just about all the shady dealings that happen with the CMUs and how they're barely legal because of some loopholes that were made present in the Patriot Act, and they're even described. The one in Terre Haute is described by the guards there as Little Guantanamo.
That's crazy.
That's correct, and for many reasons, not the least of which is that the vast majority of the population there are Muslim. Basically like radical ISIS Muslim type people that have been put there. Schaefer was moved there. He was actually his life was threatened, and he survived an attack in a prison in Marion, Illinois, previously to being moved to the CMU in Terre Haute, Indiana, and he went out of the frying pan and into the fire because 98% of that population in Terre Haute is all radical Muslim members of ISIS. And back in October of 2018. Schaefer and the very few Christians who were in that CMU prison were together singing hymns and praying together with the Bible, and they were happened upon by a very large group of Muslims who had basically put a hit out on all the Christians, and they grabbed one of Schaefer's friends right in front of him, tied his hands behind his back, and sawed his head off with a homemade prison garrote, basically made with a wire.
In Marion, Illinois?
And when say again?
That happened in Marion, Illinois?
That happened in Terre Haute, Indiana, in the CMU.
Wow. Okay.
And the guards that were present did nothing. They stood there and watched. They didn't intervene. These guys are on their own. The next guy they grabbed, they stabbed 12 times and slit his throat. Miraculously, that man survived. Schaefer and his other friends were able to save him. But the first man was not lucky, and he died a gruesome, horrible death, and he died as a Christian martyr, essentially. So Schaefer leaked this information out of the prison to his legal team, and was punished for that by being sent into the deepest, darkest dungeon that they have there for 30 days in pitch black and without communication. And the conditions for the prisoners in this place are absolutely horrific. They're all basically starving, suffering from different types of diseases, scurvy, like diseases related to starvation. They're very malnourished. There really is there's no life there. And Schaefer doesn't belong there. I don't believe anyone belongs there, but least of all Schaefer Cox, who was a nonviolent, peaceful man who stood up for liberty and for the Constitution. And committed no crime. He literally committed no crime. There was no crime committed. I can't stress that enough. And so someone, but before he was moved to the CMU, the previous prison he was at, he was writing lyrics and poetry on some papers right as he was taken out. And he thought that those lyrics were lost forever. They were in a pile of papers on a table in a common room. somebody, and we don't know who, read those papers and was so moved by them that they kept them safe and smuggled them out of the prison and got them into the hands of Schaefer's team, who then published them into a book. Well, someone gave me this book at an event that I was at back in June in Washington State, and this book had a very profound impact on me because I knew who Schaefer was, but I didn't know much about him. I went and learned all about him. I read the book. It broke my heart. And I started talking to people that I knew who knew him and were in touch with him, and I decided I was going to write a song for him. And so I wrote the song called The Persecution of Schaefer Cox. I think it's one of the best songs I've ever written, and certainly one of the best produced songs I've ever done.
So
and
we have a little bit of that ready now. If you want to play it, producer Chris, we'll give people a little sampling of it. And then this song's going to be released here in the next few days. Correct, Jordan?
It'll be released on March 10th, which is the anniversary of his arrest. He was arrested on March 10th, 2011.
All right, we're going to play it.
Should be playing, but hold on one second.
Oh man, producer Chris, you're earning your pay.
0. Yes, I know. We're good. Da-da-da. All right, here, let's try this. Haven't I given all? Here I stand, ere I fall. Someday soon I'll be free. What a day that will be.
There we go. That's the you have to pay extra to hear the rest of it, I guess. Is that right, Chris?
That's true. Donate to the Sheriff.
You sound good as always, Jordan, man. That's awesome.
Thanks a lot, very much. Well, we did a video for this song too. I'm working right directly with Schaefer's Foundation called Schaefer's Angels, and people can find that at freeschaefer.com. The goal here, guys, is because the judge in his case just last month ordered all that exculpatory evidence the prosecution withheld. He ordered it to be released. So Schaefer has a real shot at getting out and not serving the remainder of his sentence. He served 8 years of 26 years, hasn't seen his children in 5. So what we need to do is direct people to freeschaefer.com, learn all you can about Schaefer, and get on his email list to get updates and his letters from prison, and donate to his legal defense fund, because that's what we really need to do. I've committed 50% of all the sales of the song directly to that, and I'm probably going to do more. I made Schaefer a co-author of the song because I took a few lyrics from his book and I put them into the song. I wanted his voice directly to be heard, and so I'm sending 50% of all the sales, at least 50%, directly to the foundation to pay for his legal costs, which are substantial. That's really what we need help with right now is paying for his legal. So freeschaefer.com. You'll find the song on iTunes, on Amazon, on Google Play. You can find it at my website, jordanpagemusic.com, at cdbaby.com. That's my distributor. You can get it directly from them. We actually keep more of the money when you buy it directly from cdbaby.com. And all those links will be on my website, jordanpagemusic.com, and on freeschaefer.com. So I encourage your listeners to learn all they can about Schaefer Cox. This is a nonviolent, peaceful person who was unfairly targeted and framed for a crime that he didn't commit, and he was railroaded at every turn by the establishment. They wanted to just lock him up, throw away the key so his voice couldn't be heard. Well, his voice has been heard, and his message is getting out there, and I'm helping. I'm one of many people who's helping to carry it, but I just happen to write a song about it. And we're releasing that song and video on this coming Sunday. Very
impressive, Jordan. Thank you for joining us. Are there other commercial projects you're working on nowadays that folks can support your other music?
Sure. People can support me on Patreon. It's patreon.com/JordanPageMusic. And I'm working on putting together a new album. I've got plenty of songs for a new record. And I'm a partner in a blockchain company, and we're building systems that are going to change the world. That's really exciting. It's called Stepwise, and I'm writing songs all the time. But the Schaefer Cox song is I think the most important work that I'm doing right now, and we're going to be pushing this for a few months. Trying to sell the song and make the video go viral. So it'll be on YouTube, and it'll be on all the websites I've mentioned, jordanpagemusic.com and freeschaefer.com. So I encourage everybody just to check it out and share it as much as you can.
Awesome. Thanks for joining us, Jordan. All the best to Mary and Drew and the rest of the brood. All the kids.
And the million kids. Yeah,
that's right.
Kids.
Every time I turn around, there's another baby in the Page family.
Yeah, we're all done now. We're just raising them now.
All right. We'll talk to you soon, man. Thanks for calling in.
All right. Thanks for having me on. All right. Bye-bye.
All right. So there you go.
Hey, Chris.
Are we clear, producer
Yeah.
Chris?
You go ahead and unplug the laptop. Yep. Nope. There you go.
And the hum will go away.
Woo.
Whew. I'll tell you what. On cold medicine, it is stressful doing a phone interview.
It's stressful being around you when you're on cold
Oh
medicine.
my
Ain't
god!
that the truth?
I said earlier I feel so bad for Sarah.
Dakota is like, Jeremiah, you are on edge today, and that's why. That's the excitement.
I came in and he was clapping his hands, like every time he say something. It's all right. Yeah.
Well, I'm in rare form when I'm on a tight time frame anyway. So we've got a new computer we're setting up. We've got to make it all work, and we've got a hard time that we're going to be on the air to do a phone interview. We are not pros at phone interviews.
Not yet, but it sounded.
We will be.
We got good that time. We were decent there.
We did all right.
So, couple of things else that I want to mention with the Schaefer Cox story. This is basically just on the CMUs because I think this is really interesting.
Something I had no idea existed before this was brought up.
But basically, there was something similar to a CMU, but was even more restrictive that was set up directly after the Patriot Act. And the Center for Constitutional Rights actually had them shut down. I think it said in like 2000. I don't remember what it was, like 2010 or something. And then the federal government just was like, okay, you can shut those down. We're going to open these things called communication management units. And basically why it's called a communication management unit is because it's designated for prisoners who they believe their message is dangerous to society. It's a danger to American society.
If what they're saying gets out.
Right.
So, and it's very interesting that, so Jordan hadn't met Schaefer. The story really wasn't out there, and somehow the papers or his documents get released, and it turned into a book. I'm very interested in seeing the book now and reading his account. Right,
I think I'm going to buy it. So Hody Johns, there's
is
another
that the
one.
next book club?
There's another one to add to the reading list. Yeah, a poor Hody. He just finished the Lucifer Effect. It's very long.
Are you tricking Hody and saying you're reading these books and really it's not happening?
I'm about halfway through it.
Hody, the next one you should read is 50 Shades of Grey. So it's a pretty good read. I've read it.
Have you?
No.
You're going to wait for
But
it
I've
to come
seen
out.
the movies.
You're going to wait for it to come out on VHS?
I've seen the movies.
VHS. Why would you lie to Hody like that?
You upset Hody. Hody is the hardest guy in the entire Wall network. Hody is like...
He's one of my faves.
He is still trying to impress Spangle is what's happening. Unlike the rest of us,
we gave up on that.
We just don't care. Hody is trying hard.
Yeah, the CMUs are interesting. We forgot to post the show notes in the Patreon.
They're in there
group.
now.
Are they?
They're in there now.
So the Patreon members have access to the show notes, and there is a link to a YouTube video about a TED Talk on CMUs, and it's really good. It's not a very long watch. I think it's like 10-15 minutes long, but it's super informative about what this is about. And the TED Talk is coming from a journalist that was actually able to gain access into one and interview a couple of prisoners. Yeah, really interesting.
Did he get himself arrested to go in?
No, he basically fought for a few years for his right to be able to go and tour the prison and visit these people. So basically he didn't go to the one in Terre Haute, but basically what happened was the entire prison went on lockdown whenever he went in, and he was allowed to talk to one inmate.
Wow.
And they had to select, and
they got the one he could talk to.
The inmate. Yeah. Yeah. It's they're shady business.
Probably a deaf mute, huh?
Yeah, I had never heard of him before tonight.
Yeah. I
hadn't heard of him.
So you didn't read the show notes before you came?
No, I never read the show notes, to be honest.
So, we'll get into it in a little while, but you're going to have a suspension for this.
I do.
You're going to be suspended.
Big news.
You got something to talk about. What are you drinking over there, buddy?
He just finished
Space Dust, man.
Space Dust.
No, what's the other thing?
Budweiser.
What is
Powered
that
by wind energy.
Is it the official beer of the Boss Hog of Liberty?
It
the
is,
Bud
man.
Hog of Liberty?
I drink one every
I'm not
show.
saying that. We got in enough trouble for putting a windmill in the logo.
Oh, Chase, you're cruising for a suspension, buddy.
Oh, no.
We're gonna have to do something.
All right.
Gonna have to do something. All right. So there's
some
more news.
Big news that happened this weekend on Saturday. Producer Chris Guffey threw his name in the hat and decided to run for the nomination for the...
He just threw his name in the hat. He didn't throw his hat in the ring.
Right. He threw his name in the hat.
When did we throw the hat in the ring for him?
We're not... There's no ring.
You picked the name out of the hat.
And I'm keeping the hat. So... My hat will not be thrown.
Justin Kelly wants to know if that's a 40 or a 32.
It's
a 40.
It's a 40.
Do I look like a pansy?
So
I also drink this thing, too.
Two.
Ooh.
Minnesota.
So
The Bears.
Chris decided that
Vikings.
he was going to put his name in the hat for the Libertarian Party nomination to run for City Council Ward 3. And on Saturday, a vote 8-0, he secured the nomination.
Now, wait.
That was a close one.
Well, congratulations to Chris. I heard other people had their constitutional right taken away to vote in the primary, but yet you were allowed to vote. How did that happen?
It's true, because the Libertarian Party does not make the taxpayers pay for their private party business by holding a primary that would cost us $30,000. We decide to do our private business by ourselves.
My wife and I
by
went.
Ourselves.
It cost me $47.
It did. Yeah. It was $22 a ticket to get in to the convention. Basically,
Mine cost me a little more than that.
Did it?
What the hell did you do? You went and wanted to guarantee that you were going to look good. So you went to
Sure
the men's shirt house or something.
Men's Warehouse, yeah. Bought me some jackets. Just had to look nice. And
Why'd you
clean.
buy 2 jackets?
Because they were buy one, get one free. Best kind of
How much? I mean, I know I bought an extra jacket at Goodwill. I was so excited to find a jacket that fit me at Goodwill, and it was $7.
Mm-hmm.
Would you? I mean, if you went and paid retail, I assume that's like, I don't know, $95. How much is a jacket nowadays? $90, $80.
No.
What?
I dropped $430.
Oh, shoot.
Did you buy the whole suit or just the jacket?
Just the jackets. The pants were an extra $200.
But it was buy one get one free for $400.
Yes, it was, sir. I tell you,
And
what,
That's
you
like
think-
Dakota's
and you're going to be
cowboy
Mr.
boots.
Fiscal Responsibility on the council.
Mine was buy one, get 2 free. Okay.
He only had to drop $600.
Dakota wasn't even drunk yet.
I dropped 200.
What do you wear? Which pair of boots are you wearing tonight?
I'm not wearing any.
Why not?
One pair is my around the house work boots. My suede pair is reserved, and then my black pair. The black pair I got are the most uncomfortable shoes I've ever put on my feet, so I don't wear them.
Chris, I'm just going to warn you, man. I only vote straight ticket Republican.
well, there's no
It's
Republican
so
running
much
against
easier.
me. There's no Republican running against
Well, then
me.
I'm
Not
not
yet.
going to vote.
Not yet. You don't live in this
You're
district.
not even in the district.
You live in the county.
I
And
could
no,
live in the
Justin
district.
Kelly, I didn't get 15% off because I didn't sign for that credit card.
Okay.
You're
So
gonna
Chris,
like the way you live.
Chris, you are running.
I do.
You are running against incumbent Democrat Jerry Walden
Exactly.
in Ward 3, right?
Chris, why don't you come sit down over here for a minute? Widen the camera out and just have a seat in the interview chair.
Yeah.
We'll start the candidate
I
series
think we
now.
have the levels okay.
Come on over. Come on over, buddy.
As long as that mic isn't muted anymore.
I'm glad you dressed yourself nicely.
So,
well,
Chris,
I'm coming just from
how do
work.
you feel about wind farms?
Wow. I love that they make Budweiser.
Are you going to stick one right in the middle of 1400 Plaza?
That's actually my plan, is I was going to take
Now,
just a giant windmill.
they wrote about you in the newspaper this week, man. So anything
Actually-
you say could be put in print.
I know.
They didn't write about him in the newspaper.
I say that sarcastically, all people listening.
It did say information provided. Who provided that information?
That'd be my lovely chairman.
Your chairman wrote that, eh?
Look at him. He's so lovely.
Why weren't there any pictures in there? Did you
I
attach-
sent headshots.
They didn't print the pit photos?
They don't want them.
Why not?
And you know what?
You
I
look
noticed.
darn good in those new photos.
I know.
New photos, not nude photos.
Who provided those?
Ooh,
Enunciate.
nude photos.
Who provided those photos? My chairman, Dakota.
What
I tell you what, taking them beer pictures, he's getting phenomenal.
Yeah, I can take some pretty good pictures just because I've learned a lot taking pictures of beer.
Adjust.
So Tell us, you've started this process of running for office.
Yeah, that's correct.
You're a first-time candidate.
That is true.
You volunteered on a failure of a campaign last year. Mine.
Yep.
What's
a
it been
failure.
like in the candidate chair? What's the difference? What kind of stuff do you have to worry about?
I didn't realize that there was so much paperwork to fill out. Like,
How long did it take you?
it didn't take me long because I actually did it on the computer. But
Okay.
like, there was just stacks. Just the CFA.
Oh, the CFA 4?
Yeah, like the financial expenditures.
Yeah,
But-
but half of that you don't need to fill out right now.
Well, yeah, all I did was fill out the front page.
Yeah.
All zeros because
You haven't raised or spent any money yet, right?
nope, not yet.
Right. But we do it just to be safe. We don't want to cause any troubles or ruffle any feathers.
Yeah, and so there's
Because
that.
if you win, if you win, a libertarian wins, then there's going to be people going through
Microscopes.
everything with a fine-tooth comb.
yeah,
You know what, Chris? You've earned my vote.
moved to Ward 3.
Okay.
Do you want to move into his spare bedroom?
I don't have a
Sure.
spare bedroom.
You have a basement?
I don't have a basement.
You
have
said
a
the other week
closet?
that your cat has its own room.
The whole house is his room.
You have a closet? I've been known to live in the closet.
I can get you in the closet. It's no problem.
Fun fact, I did have a roommate that lived in my closet in college.
I do have some meetings lined up just to.
So you're on a grand tour in the campaign.
Yep, trying to get my finger on the pulse. What everybody thinks, what we can do better, what they
You giving
think.
out your phone number yet? Or are people calling you?
No, not yet.
I bet it starts with a 7.
Ooh, it does. It goes 765-591-2610.
There's
Is that
a jingle.
really- is that your phone number?
Yeah, that's exactly my phone number.
All right.
There's
I gave mine out yesterday. So
Yeah, it's true.
So if you go back to the Patreon feed, we didn't really pitch it or thank the guys at the front end, but we do appreciate the Patreon folks. If you go to patreon.com/Boss Hog of Liberty, that's what pays the bills around here, and you guys get extra bonus content. We spent a lot of time in the studio. Guffey and I did on Sunday.
I know.
And there were some test phone calls that we did on Sunday. We put those together. I taught Chris how to edit, and he's going to learn how to do it again tonight at the end of the show. But I'm on cold medicine, so I forgot where this is going.
Of course.
we were going to thank the Patreon members
We
because
didn't
we
know.
forgot to at the beginning of the show.
But there
So
was
thank you,
Christy Avery.
Okay.
Hody John.
Hody Johns is one, but he's not one of the people that gets the
John
privilege.
Phillips.
Oh my gosh, we gave something out for free.
John Phillips,
Christopher Bilbray.
Chris Bilbray, all those guys. Craig DaCosta, of course,
Christopher Bilbray. He will be
Brantley
on.
Spicer.
and Brent Spicer.
Hey, look at this. Chase is coming in prepared, hot.
Man.
He's got two of the
I
people.
got my boy Brant.
Maybe we won't have to suspend you.
He pays me, $20
I'm
bucks
still-
on the side just to say the F word.
I'm just saying, if anybody wants to get a hold of me and they use that number, I prefer you just text me first.
So what I was going to say is that
He is single
Patreon,
though, so if you're a girl
Yeah, go, hit
and available,
make it rain.
Right there it is. Just make it rain.
So
yes.
what I was trying to say is that last night, again, we went live in the Patreon group on the video side. I don't think the audio is there, but if you're in the Facebook group, you've joined Patreon, you get added to that Facebook group, you can hear Dakota explaining his old ringer, your answering ringer.
It is. It's
Your answering machine. It was a jingle you wrote yourself.
I'm not going to give it out.
You got to watch the video.
You gotta
go
join
back.
the Patreon.
And I then brought up the old George Costanza one that you wouldn't play for anything. Finally, I made you play it. I finally made you play it when I drove here into the studio, and then you laughed.
Like a terrorist.
20 minutes later,
Play my song, see?
I showed up.
I'd been here for 2 hours.
Yeah.
I was ready to leave.
You were here for 2 hours. Guffey and I were here for probably 3 to 4,
Yeah.
to the point where Sarah was notably angry with me on Sunday.
It's true.
Dinner
Just
was-
because you didn't keep her informed.
Well, I said I should be out of here by this time, and then dinner was ready, and I wasn't. Story of my life. All right, so you are going to be on the ballot.
Yep.
And then there's a...
Not yet, but
you're going to be.
Yeah.
You were nominated.
I
And
have
then
to do
there's
the
somebody
paperwork.
named Lisa
Catron.
Crosby. Catron? It says
Yep.
Crosby on there. So
Does
it's
it-
the third time she's run.
Dude,
She's had a different name. I don't know.
I've written down Crosby so many times.
So Lisa is running in Ward 2. She's going to be in the same race. Nobody's running against anybody. Dakota wrote against Democrat Jerry Walden, against
They're going-
Democrat Jeff Hancock.
In this corner.
No, I don't think it's
standing
I don't think it's quite like
5'7",
that.
221 pounds.
You have a number of
The
civil servants that are
Libertarian.
all applying for the same job. So Lisa's going to be in the Ward 2 race. Very exciting. She ran a strong campaign without really getting out and knocking on a whole lot of doors last time. I think this will be a much more active campaign for her. And from the conversation we've had with you, Mr. Guffey, it'll be very active.
Yeah, I'm reaching out to everybody I can think of.
Have you
just talking?
Have you started asking for money yet? Because you got a microphone and
I have not yet. Because
mail me a check. What's the name of your campaign going to be?
Elect Chris Guffey.
So if somebody were to happen to mail a check to 1102 Race Street, attention,
Newcastle, Indiana 47362.
Attention, elect Chris Guffey.
That's
you'd
correct.
Be able to put that in your bank account.
Yep, going down Saturday to open that up.
There we go.
Hey, Chris, if you're going to be active, wear protection.
Always. I'm looking at you, buddy.
Just saying. Hey, I don't have to worry about that.
It's not 8:00 yet. You got to keep these kind of jokes down. Otherwise, Kirsten Kronk's just going to stop watching altogether.
There are young ears
She's
listening.
probably already put her kid to bed.
She saw Chase was on. You're our, you had 12 plus 40, 52 ounces. I'm going to say that you are 20 ounces in.
Oh, boy. It's like
two beer chase.
Beers.
2 beer chase. It's time to get dangerous.
Man, mojitos. That'd be nice right now.
All right, so this is
I
it.
haven't had anything to eat, Jer.
This is it. There are no more candidates. It's completely done. The election is decided.
That's wrong.
The mayor has been reelected. The clerk treasurer has been reelected.
You are wrong, sir.
Is that not the case?
That's not the case.
What happens now?
Well, the Republicans can still caucus somebody in. They have
until July 15th.
Is it July? Are you sure? I thought it was June.
I think it's July.
Okay. Well, they can caucus somebody in
until the summer.
And our convention's actually in recess, so if we have somebody that does want to run for Ward 1, 4, 5, at large, and or mayor, or clerk treasurer, I saw them today. I saw the clerk treasurer and Brenda Grider at Ming's when I was eating my lunch.
Did you talk politics?
No, they were over there by themselves, and
Dakota hates Ming's.
I didn't want to disturb them.
I do. I don't like Ming's.
I love Ming's.
But yeah, so we're still in we're in recess right now. So
we are a show that really should not spend a lot of time bashing potential sponsors.
I
just,
didn't
just
bash
in
him.
general.
He
love
said I
Ming's.
hated him. I don't hate him.
No, you do not like Ming's.
I just prefer China Castle.
I do like
China
the people at
Castle
China Castle.
sucks. I love Ming's.
Oh,
Wait.
I'll tell you what. China Castle is the most efficient phone call.
Give
The
me
most
some of that
efficient-
black pepper chicken.
That's not even real. That's not even real Chinese food.
let's get into the real discussion. What Mexican restaurant in town's the best?
El Chili Poblano.
Which one?
Yep.
You got to choose.
They have
Hold on, you have two. You have to choose.
Yeah, old
The
Pizza
one in
Hut
front of
or
Marsh.
the original one.
The one by Marsh?
no,
or
no, the one
on Road 3.
the one by Highway Liquors, because I know for a fact they have like 34-ounce beers for $5.
They have them
They're
at both
huge.
locations.
Same
Well,
place.
I've never been to the one by Marsh.
Yeah, man.
The one by Marsh is
humongous.
a land. It's the it's next to the
Landslide's
B&B.
better.
Okay,
I like the space in the one by Marsh better,
I agree.
or the former Marsh, the
Yeah.
corpse of Marsh.
it is bigger.
Bigger
Dude,
is always better.
And they have a bar.
That's what I've heard.
They have a legit bar.
They do. The other
So
one's an
nice.
old Pizza Hut.
Yeah. Well, Pizza Hut
And,
King
you know,
Gyros,
it's just-
Linda's.
Sometimes
I mean-
you want to go where everybody knows your name.
All right.
For me, that's Buffalo Wild Wings.
It is after 8:00.
Tiffany, if you're listening, Buffalo Wild Wings, please sponsor us.
We can now take the wheels off the bus. Chase, this is
This is
this
it,
is
buddy.
this is a difficult moment for all of us. What
Chase,
I don't wanna have to do this.
I didn't want to have to come to this, but your performance has been lacking.
there have been some
we've-
comments by some major donors.
Is it
We've warned you over and over again to stop dropping the F word.
Is it because I said the fuck word?
You're fired.
Let's not
fired.
fire him. Let's just maybe a suspension.
Yes,
Maybe a
suspended.
suspension.
Maybe we'll say you've been reassigned for a while.
We'll
So
see.
I got
We'll suspend you just like Twitter suspends people.
I got a new job.
You got a new job? Wait.
I don't
You
want to
can't-
say where
you
because
can't
I have
work-
enough people that hate me.
Your
You
new
can't
job?
work here and somewhere else. That is
You
unacceptable.
can't cheat on us.
So technically, I have 3 jobs, and I'm not going to have enough time to do the show for a while.
What does
So-
that mean? And
So
how does that
the
affect fishing?
Your other job is you're going to work for John Chow on North Sentinel Island.
Yes, I've heard there's a bunch
do-
of people in need for Christ, and I happen to know a lot about the Bible. Fun fact, I went to a Christian school for like 20 years.
That's weird. I thought you were going to Africa to search for the perfect blood diamond.
You dropped out of Liberty University.
I did. Actually, I got kicked out of Liberty University or suspended.
Oh, another suspension.
But I did go to Trinity Baptist College. I didn't get suspended
You're
from
a
there.
college athlete.
I am.
Third
I
baseman.
played baseball. Third baseman.
You got to third
Catch
place in
happened.
college, huh?
And now look at you. Drinking 52 ounces of beer.
Let me tell you about the good old days when I was in high school.
So you got another job, and all of a sudden now you can't work here anymore.
I won't have enough time to do the show for a while. I'll be back.
You can call in from North Sentinel Island.
Listen,
we can do Skype now.
Satellite phones.
I'll have enough time to do a couple shows.
I would like to talk to the Sentinelese tribe as well.
I'll definitely be back on an almost full-time basis by the beginning of the new NFL season.
That's so far away.
That way I can talk shit about Chrissy Avery's crappy Lions.
Can you talk any crap or shit about the new terrible quarterback for the Washington Redskins?
Yeah, how do you feel about that, Chris?
I'm
Hey,
not
look at this.
excited at all.
Hody Johns.
Honestly,
Hody Johns graduated from Liberty University.
did you really?
Look at him bragging about having graduated.
on campus or online?
Yeah, libertyuniversity.net doesn't count, Hody. You've got to really have been in Virginia.
'Cause I'm sorry, Hody, that I partied more than
Praying
you did. I'm sorry that you were such a loser that you graduated from college.
Is it true that you have to pray to Jerry Falwell?
Hey, listen, his son was pretty cool. He grew a beard. I got to hear a lot of cool people speak there.
You heard Rand Paul speak there, did you not?
Yeah, I heard
And
Rand
you
Paul.
also
I
heard-
heard Sarah Palin.
Glenn Beck.
I don't know if I heard Glenn Beck.
You called
I
me.
think-
You called me and told me from
Okay.
there.
I don't remember that. I must have been drunk during that one.
That's oh man. So in other news,
He said it was online.
yeah, of course, fake college.
It doesn't count.
Danny, co-host Danny, who never does the show anymore, called me this morning from Tokyo.
How much did that charge you?
It didn't cost me anything, but I bet it cost him some money. So I had a 5-minute phone call from Danny, who was. Hopefully he'll tell some stories when he comes back, because it sounds like it's Bangkok and The Hangover.
Oh boy,
He sounds like he had a good old time.
$5 make you holla. So how do you feel about the Redskins trade?
I'm not excited about it.
Honestly, I think it's a great trade for him.
I think he's just a Band-Aid, man. I don't.
Yeah, but I don't know.
You got,
man.
who'd you guys get? Mark Brunell? I don't even remember.
They got Case Keenum,
Case Keenum.
6th-round pick.
The guy who was terrible for the Rams?
So basically,
and then was terrible for the Broncos?
you traded a 6th-round pick and you got a 7th-round pick and you got Case Keenum.
Yeah.
And basically that 6th-round pick probably wouldn't have even made the roster.
We don't know that.
You know who was a 6th-round pick?
Who?
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady.
You know who's a 6th-round pick? Robert Mathis.
Oh, no one cares about him.
I'll tell you what.
Tom Brady's the GOAT, but that's happened once in a lifetime.
I do
It
have
could
a
happen
question
again.
that nobody's
Not for the
explained to me yet.
Redskins.
Totally off topic. Robert Mathis he's pleading guilty this week to DUI. And Dakota, are you familiar with this whatsoever?
No.
Do you know who Robert Mathis is?
No.
Do you know who Tom Brady is?
Why would I care?
So this is a news story. So the Indianapolis Star says Robert Mathis is going to plead guilty to a DUI. What are you opening up now?
Hold on, I'm saving it for a second.
Oh my goodness.
Finish your story.
Robert Mathis is going to probably be a Hall of Famer, but he was on a sleeping pill and he blew a .052, and yet he's still going to plead guilty to DUI.
What?
Yeah,
Dang.
Where was he
Indy
at?
Star story. He was in Indianapolis.
.05? Jesus.
Former Indianapolis Colts defensive end Robert
Come on,
Mathis is
man.
expected to plead guilty to a 2017 charge of operating a vehicle while intoxicated.
It's probably because of pills.
OWI. Mathis, now a pass rush consultant for the Indianapolis Colts, has been scheduled to go to trial Thursday, so it would have been today, but the court appearance was canceled after both parties reached an agreement. Mathis is set to enter his charge of change of plea during a March 12th hearing. The Colts' career sack leader was stopped early October 24th after the police in Carmel, Indiana, said they spotted him traveling the wrong way and nearly striking a street sign on Windermere Boulevard. Could happen to anybody. A police report said Mathis had consumed whiskey and taken a sleeping aid, in parentheses. In a field test, Mathis had shaky
Quotation
balance. Yeah, whatever. Quotation marks. Mathis had shaky balance and appeared confused, the report said. A breath test revealed Mathis was driving with a .052 blood alcohol level below the .08 standard at which a driver is presumed to be drunk. So I read that story and I said, what in the heck is happening? What's illegal there? So can you not have cold medicine and a beer in your system and drive home?
Well, we'll
Because
find out.
I may need picked up.
Oh,
We'll find out.
boy.
I have a little bit of Sudafed in me.
So
Because the show must go on. 103 in a row.
Hold on,
We can't cancel
let's
it.
get to Chase's gift over here.
hold on. No, Chris. So were you excited over Alex Smith?
Yeah. Okay. So
Did you like?
I wasn't excited, but for me, it was, we got him and Kirk Cousins to me are pretty much interchangeable. Alex Smith is a little bit smarter with the ball.
Yeah.
He can actually run the ball.
Alex Smith is the number 1 overall pick.
So we got Alex Smith, who, like I said, is interchangeable with Kirk Cousins, but we got him cheaper. So
Honestly, man, Case Keenum's like one step below both of those guys. I don't think that was a bad trade.
we'll see.
Chase, what's in the picture frame?
Okay, so since this is my last episode, since the Patreon members don't pay enough to actually pay us, I had to get it.
Our very generous people, you're going to throw rocks at them
We
now.
love you.
That seems consistent with the Chase
I had
Peyton
to get
mode.
another job, and now I can't do the show for a while. I got you guys a gift since this is going to be my last episode. I've had this picture for a long time.
Your last episode ever?
No, for a while. Maybe forever. I don't know. I don't know if you guys will invite me back. But anyways, this is a picture I've had for a while.
We're adding you to the group chat next week and expecting you to show up.
That's okay. Maybe I will. Well, actually, I can't do next week.
You can?
I actually can do next week because I'm working day shift next week. So next week will be my last show. But anyways,
We're just building up to it.
I saw a ghost. Chase was here. We don't know why. I thought you quit. Screw
spoiler
you, I
alert:
quit.
Jon Snow dies.
What have you got?
So anyways, I've had this picture in my possession for a long time. It's a picture of us three in high school together. And I expect you guys to keep this on the
Chris,
table.
you're going to have to go zoom in.
I expect you guys to keep this on the table somewhere visible
While you're gone?
while I'm gone.
Okay.
In memoriam?
Preferably by that chair where I usually sit.
Let me see it.
That was my senior year of high school at church camp.
Oh, God.
That's
This is so this is a
He just
photograph.
he literally printed out. This was some Joseph Stalin type Photoshop. Chase printed out on copier paper a picture of Jeremiah's face,
From my wedding.
cut it out,
Yeah,
and
I
then,
picked a good picture of you at least.
and then pasted it over.
Who got covered up?
Kyle Logan.
You covered up Kyle.
Well, you can see him in the other pictures. So I expect you guys to keep that by
No.
my chair.
Kyle's in that picture. Oh wait, no. Yeah, you're right.
I expect you guys to keep that on this table visible until I come back.
Now there are real
Which-
pictures of us together.
Yes.
We hang out for fun sometimes.
Well, I've had that one for a long time, and I didn't know what to do with it. And don't throw it away, because I will keep it. I like that picture. It reminds me of my younger self.
You really like the
That was Virgin Chase.
I'm very young in that picture. I'm
You
wearing.
are.
I'm
That was
wearing.
before Dakota had a full beard.
I'm also wearing a flat bill hat. That won't happen
it's a
anymore.
different style. Oh my gosh.
So Merry Christmas.
Why couldn't you get me in color?
I don't have access to a color printer at work.
The camera
Oh,
angle's
the job that's firing you printed this.
I
They
didn't
paid
get
for it.
fired. I still have that job. I have two
When they
jobs.
listen to this, you'll be fired.
That's true.
I just
Actually,
had some crazy camera.
So you're going to work, as I understand it, you are going to, what are you doing,
I don't want to
Guffey?
say my new job.
So you're
I
going to
don't
work
want to lose that one.
at old job, we'll call that job A.
Yes,
You've been
job
working.
A.
You've been working 14 hours a day,
Well, I work.
and commuting. You've been working 12-hour
Yes.
days and commuting an hour each way to work.
Well, technically, yes.
And now you've signed up to work at job B for 9 hours a day
10.
and commute and 10 hours a day. And your plan is that you're going to work both jobs until they figure out that you're working 2 jobs.
No. For one thing, I already told the first job I had
So if
that I was getting another job, but I didn't plan on leaving.
Hold on. Over under. Let's make a bet.
So we're still setting this up. Let's not do the over under yet.
Okay.
So you're going to work 12 hours a day at job A and 9 hours a day at job B.
Technically, I'm working 8 hours a day at job A, and I'm driving an hour each way.
So we'll say that's
And then-
10 plus lunch. Toss in a
Yes.
lunch, an hour.
Well, no,
So
that's
that's 11.
including lunch. That's including.
You
lunch.
really short those people. No wonder they're firing you.
Well, I'm
You steal from
working
them.
through lunch. I don't usually eat a lunch.
So you go. We'll call that 11 hours
Yes.
plus 8 at the other job, plus little community time, 9 at the other job.
Basically, I did the math.
So it's like 20 hours a day
If I work through lunch at
job A.
job A, and I show up a little earlier than I usually do, which I should be able to, I can get about 4 to 5 hours of sleep, which is about what I get now. I just won't have any off time Monday through Thursday.
Are you trying to get us to reschedule the show?
Yes. So Saturdays, I'm good.
So Tradio with Chase can still exist on Saturday
Yes.
mornings.
Well, probably not Saturday mornings because I'll probably be asleep. But
So the over under on how long Chase is going to be able to keep this up. You go first.
Brantley's saying 2 weeks.
Oh, Brantley.
Brantley.
You don't know Chase that well.
I'm a hard. Okay, for one thing, I realize I look like a millennial, but I'm a very hard worker. I've worked long hours my whole life.
Let's not you brag on yourself until everybody gets their bets
Okay,
in.
all right.
Guffey.
I don't know, but look at him. He's just marvelous. I'm going to go with 7 weeks.
Under?
That's pretty long.
No, over.
Over 7 weeks.
Yeah.
I don't think Chase quits either job.
Damn it. That's what I was going to go with.
I think, and this is dark, could you please buy a life insurance policy and name the show as a beneficiary? Like $1 million would probably get us through.
So you think I'm gonna die?
So what I'm thinking is that you are a dedicated son of a bitch. And at some point you're going to fall asleep and cross the center line. And I'm saying at 6 weeks, Chase is going to work 20 hours a day and crash his truck again.
Possibility.
That's what I think is going to happen.
That's a scary thought because I do have to drive a while to go to job A.
Yeah.
So
I'm just a little worried about that. I don't think you'll have any trouble actually doing the work, but I think you're going to sleep deprive yourself and not have the proper work-life balance because we're not letting you out of Thursdays. You're still going to have to call in.
Well, I'll call in for a few minutes.
From your breaks.
Yeah. So, or if you guys wanted to move the job to Friday nights when I'm free.
You think Katie would go for that?
No, probably not. It's date night. Probably not now. We've moved date night to Saturday night, but
I mean,
I give him 8 weeks.
okay.
I'm going 6. So if today is, we have to write it on the whiteboard up there, Dakota. We are going to go what day?
We're not cavemen. We don't need a whiteboard.
On the blackboard. We had a chalkboard. What do we use
have
it for?
technology.
No.
I'm gonna give me until.
No, you can't bet because you control it.
I'm gonna say
You're behind the wheel on this, Chase.
sometime in June, possibly longer, possibly shorter.
Man,
we'll see.
you gotta daylight saving times changes this weekend.
I'm giving you 2 months.
2 months.
Okay,
That's a fair.
So
gotta
here's
go
what it'll
fishing.
be. Jeremiah, you get the 22nd of April
There we go.
through the 28th. That'll be 6 weeks.
All right.
I'll get the 29th of April through the 5th of May. And then Dakota gets the 6th through the 12th of May. $5.
What?
$5.
$5 each in the pot.
Okay.
All right.
What do I get if I go longer than that?
Well, first of all, you get overtime.
You get to pay bills.
I'm only
a firm
putting,
handshake.
I'm putting the $5 towards the ring fund.
Okay.
I'm
All right.
putting my $5 towards Chris Guffey's council campaign.
Ooh.
Ooh, yeah. Screw the ring fund.
I'll have enough money. I'll have 2 jobs. So, listen. I had a thought and I lost it.
Are
Keep
you?
going, keep going.
If you didn't have such an expensive Budweiser habit, do you think maybe you could just have one job?
Probably.
Nah. Just do it. I'm interested.
Yeah,
I'm
like
interested
Nike.
to see how you can do it.
Honestly, I think I'll be fine. It's
Remember-
going to be rough the first week I'm doing both jobs. And then I think after that, I'll be okay.
Do you think you're going to miss a social life,
It'll
or do you
be-
think work's fun enough?
It'll be rough for more than 1 week.
I don't do a lot through the week. I play video games.
The first,
Most
here's
of my
what's going to
friends live
happen.
in Florida, other than you guys.
21 days, Chase.
Are we dead? We're right here.
No,
dude.
but Thursdays are nice.
I've
you know?
worked 16-hour days,
Yeah.
7 days a week for 4 weeks. I can tell you what's going to happen.
Oh, wait, there's real money on the line. If Chase doesn't last 6 weeks, I'll give the show an extra $5 a month. So if it's under 6, we come out $5 ahead. I need you to quit next week.
Well, anyway,
it's for the good of the show.
I've worked
Because that offer goes on forever.
when I worked landscaping. I worked at least
That's 16
14-hour days, if not longer. Majority of the time I worked there, and it was 6 days a week for the most part.
Yeah.
And you get to a point to where you just get numb. So
And then you fall asleep and cross the center line, and it's all over.
Here's what's going to happen. That first week, you're going to be pretty amped up.
Yeah.
Because you're going to be excited. Like, this is happening. And it's your first week on a new job. You're going to have a lot of stimulation. The second week is this newness will still be there. You'll be pretty tired. The third week, you're going to start getting numb. The fourth week, you'll be numb again. But by the time you get to 8 weeks, you're going to be so tired and numb and grouchy that Katie will either make you quit
Or make you wish you had.
or she will just quit you.
Ooh.
That's the wrong response, Chase.
You could save money on that ring.
No, I don't mean it like, ooh, I hope that happens. I'm just like, oh, snap.
Yes, that's the way you said it.
So
We should cut this. We should cut this now. He's digging a hole.
I really didn't mean it that way. Okay, I'm like 4 beers in, okay?
I believe you. I believe you, friend.
Thank you. I appreciate
Hey,
it.
man, we're always on your side.
But that is the reasoning behind my guess of 2 months. Because I think
2 months is a good time.
And the goal is that job B is going to relocate you to the time schedule of job A.
Well, I
Fix his
hear-
mic. He's so far off. There you
Sorry.
go.
I hear that the FBI has really good insurance, so I should be okay on
You're gonna
that,
be Burt
that
Macklin.
end.
FBI.
Burt Macklin. We just talked about the FBI. And
Fun
how
fact.
I don't think you want to work for them after what we just heard.
A fun fact, in that picture was like 2 weeks after Dakota lost his virginity.
Was it?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I don't think I lost my virginity that young.
Yeah, you did.
I don't
That was
think I
my
did.
senior year of college. We've had this
Of
conversation.
college?
I mean, senior year of high school. We've had this conversation.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think I was just lying to you so that you thought I was a man.
I don't think so.
All right. So our thoughts
I've heard
and prayers,
from multiple sources.
our thoughts and prayers go with Chase.
Other people I lied to?
It's not a lie if you believe it.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna miss you.
I'm going to miss you guys too.
This just seems wrong.
I'm still not adding you on Facebook.
Some of us are committed.
Yeah, I would have added Chris in that picture, but he didn't add me on Facebook, so I couldn't steal any of his.
He's still the new guy here. Have you?
true.
I mean, when you're quitting a show or getting suspended, you normally are supposed to find your replacement. What replacement have you found for us?
Well, I can cover next week. And then after
We already
that,
found Spangle's supposed to do next week.
okay.
And
No
Chris
problem.
Bilbrey's on. I mean, I don't want to make you feel unwanted, but
No biggie.
it's just that we moved on.
I really don't need to do next week. I'm just saying I could if something came available. So, I mean, we were supposed to have a fourth co-host over here, but then someone got sicky poo. So, poo.
The sicky poo. All right.
Jared, are you ever going to start Game of Thrones?
I saw the one scene, the shame scene. Isn't that enough for you?
Shame.
Shame. Shame. Shame. Shame. Shame.
That was strange.
I'm slowly working my way through the. Hody is crying. Hody is. Jason Harold says if you do last 6 weeks, he's going up an extra $5.
Oh,
So
snap.
We're coming out ahead either way.
We're rich anyway, buddy.
I'm going to miss Hody.
Hody says he's actually pretty upset. The plus side is he won't have to earmuff the kids anymore. Downside is that the sports side is going to go downhill. No kidding.
Well, actually, Chris
Chase-
said he's gonna drop that fuck bomb, at least once a week.
Brantley said that
just
he's
for Brantley.
open.
We can't have Brantley. He's a bit of a cripple
And a pirate, man.
I'm going to be honest.
is a
Right now,
pirate.
he's got the one eye, and I can't let
True.
a guy with one eye on our podcast.
You can't trust a man with one eye.
That's not
Mystery.
good.
It adds to the mystery of Brantley's life.
If you remember,
we came up with a story that you were going to share, that you were going to go on a search and rescue mission for John Chow on North Sentinel Island. I think that we can come up with a pretty good story of why Brantley Spicer is wearing an eye
That's going to be
patch.
my next shot.
there was a person with an eye patch at my wedding, and I never heard so much whispering in my life. Hey, you know, there's a lady with an eye patch at your wedding. No,
Really? Where?
So
I heard bad news
Disfigurements for 1,000 today.
This is for Hody. I heard bad news today. Bears are gonna trade Jordan Howard, or they're talking about it. I'm gonna be really sad when that happens. He was like my favorite player for 2 or 3 years.
Final Bears news piece, Chase.
Well,
we've been talking.
We signed a kicker named Blewett, which honestly I kind of like it.
I don't know how we're going to go on without Chase's Bears sadness.
Well, it's going to be happiness next year.
Oh, of course it is.
Okay, I like to think that the Bears are going to keep Jordan Howard. They're going to use him the right way, like they did the 2 years prior to the last year, and we're going to get a kicker who is pretty good. I think we found him. His name's Blewett. I like people who blow it.
You don't think he just blew it?
No, he did. He played pretty well at Pitt. He probably won't even make the real roster, to be honest. I think we're going to sign like Dan Bailey or something. As long as it's not Blair Walsh, I'll be happy.
You don't like in conference kickers?
Well,
The Viking kicker is just too much for you.
if we,
Was he in Seattle after that? Blair
I
Walsh?
don't know. All I know is I've seen him miss like 2 really big kicks in the playoffs for the Vikings, and if we sign him, we're officially the new Minnesota Vikings.
Cousin Rick is a huge Viking fan.
I'm
yeah.
sorry, man.
Yeah, Blair Walsh went to the. He's a Seahawk now. He's a winner.
No, he's not. They lost in the playoffs.
Other sports news: the IndyCar season restarts this week in St. Petersburg. Pato Award has been named.
I thought you said sports news.
Pato Award has been named to the second Carlin.
Oh, in other sports news, LeBron James just passed Michael Jordan in all-time scoring points.
Did Michael Jordan ever miss the playoffs?
Goat.
Michael Jordan's the GOAT by far.
Did Michael Jordan ever miss the playoffs?
Let's see.
Because LeBron's about to.
LeBron's
did.
played for like 100 years.
Did he miss
Yeah,
early on?
early in the season.
He's never lost the finals, though.
Yeah, he's never.
But LeBron James has played for like 100 years, and Michael Jordan was retired for like 3 years total, and he also played like 4 years of college.
Well, then
And
he
LeBron James didn't do any of that.
I'm ignoring the Wizard years. Those don't count for Jordan. Only the Bulls years.
Yeah.
So technically, LeBron James should have passed MJ like 7 years ago. LeBron James. So LeBron James sucks. He threw the basketball off the backboard yesterday.
Did y'all see Kanye's new ride? His new car?
That Zachary
His new Lamborghini?
them wheels, man.
He designed his own wheels.
Did you see Tristan Thompson cheated on Khloe again?
I sure did with Jordan.
Because she's the ugly Kardashian.
Oh my gosh.
Even after she had all the work done.
They kicked Jordan out though. They kicked Jordan out.
I believe that what's
she
her
moved
name
back
is the world's youngest millennial now, or the world's youngest millennial. Dakota's the world's youngest millennial. She's the world's youngest billionaire.
Oh,
Kylie
Kylie
Self-made.
Kylie Jenner.
Self-made.
No, Ray J
billionaire.
made that.
See, Jason Harold, IndyCar is the best racing. There we go. Somebody's on my side.
Yeah, but racing's still not a sport.
Did you
It's
enjoy
the best
Indy 500?
racing.
Ray
Yeah,
J made all those.
I enjoyed the
Kardashians.
Indy 500 because I was wasted.
Right. And you don't think the fans in St. Pete will be wasted this weekend, having a great time?
I think I saw cars go around the track maybe for a period of 2 minutes.
It's okay.
I've never been,
It's really fun. You should go.
and I'm not going.
I don't care
You
if
should
you go or
go.
not.
It's fun.
Listen, man. If you want to go, we'll find a way. We'll find a spot
I'm
for
trying
you.
to decide
My
if I'm
ticket
going to
showed
go
up this week.
this year or go to Florida for the weekend. So we'll see. We'll see which one.
That a tough choice for
I'm
you?
pretty sure I've got a parade
Well,
the following day.
I actually really enjoyed the Indy 500.
I'd pick
So-
Florida all day.
Yeah, we'll see how it works out.
There we go. All right. This has been fun. Next week, Chris Bilbrey's on. We don't know about Chase. Chris Spangle, he's kicking around the idea of coming by.
I'm taking the next week off. This is officially my last episode. I quit.
We have.
You can't quit. You're fired.
I already gave you guys my picture. I can't afford another gift.
Elizabeth Potter says she has two extra tickets to the Indy 500.
I see.
Perhaps you could talk her into something.
Well, I'm pretty sure I've got a parade that following day.
Yeah, it's a matter of how you do it.
I don't think you've ever been to the parade, sir.
No.
You bounce.
No. Can't do that. Indy 500 is Christmas for me.
Sarah, what's for dinner?
Grilled pork tenderloins.
Ooh.
She's in the chat reminding me I've got to go home.
I have some leftover Chinese.
All right. From
Let's
Ming's. Yeah.
Let's wrap it up, boys.
Right. This has been fun. We'll see y'all next week. Then let's do a final episode. Do we have final thoughts? I think we're good.
I think that last whole 30 minutes
I think that was
final
it.
thoughts.
Goodbye, Chase.
It's nice knowing you guys. Fuck you, Christy.
Thank you for listening to the Boss Hog of Liberty, which is part of the We Are Libertarians Network. I am Chris Spangle, and I am the founder of this network, and I invite you to listen to all of our shows, which you can find at wearelibertarians.com or by searching for these in your podcatcher. The flagship show is the We Are Libertarians podcast, where we apply libertarian principles to current events. The Brian Nichols Show is a conversation amongst Republicans, Democrats, Libertarians, Independents, as they talk about what is happening in the news. And we have many other podcasts like The Chris Spangle Show, Upward, The Cost, Raw Audio Politics, Miranda's World, and Tad Talk, which is quite a ride. So check all of these out. Go to wearelibertarians.com and you can check out all of our great podcasts. Thanks for listening. Thank you for listening to the We Are Libertarians Network. Get our other shows at wearelibertarians.com.